Okay guys, it's turbo time. I've been storing this box for 2 years. I think I ordered it in 19. Let's see what the shipping says here. Anyways, it's from Irate. I got this on sale. This is why I picked it up when I did. Because this stuff is not cheap. And if you can get it on sale, it's probably good to do. This side of the box is all squashed in. And I've been storing it. Waiting on a day to open her up. And today is that day. So. There should be all the tubing to install turbo. Oh yeah. Wow. Downpipe. Good Lord. That's a 4-inch downpipe. Okay. What else we got? Intercooler tubes. Alright. Wow, it's all stainless too. I was debating on whether to coat it or not. I did order some coating for it. Some high temperature coating. Crossover pipes. Pre-assembled. Nice. And I'll take it. Yeah. That's the intake. And then we got lots of hardware. Alright. Yeah. Jeez Louise, let's get rid of this huge box. And we'll put this one down. My goodness. Sticker. All right. At the time I got this, I think it was, I got the entire kit including the turbo for like 2100. It was on sale. Intake. Very nice. Boot. Looks like an adapter. Oh, it's an adapter to the neck of the turbo down to the 4-inch pipe. So this goes on here like that. Okay, cool. Wow, what a bunch of stuff. All the turbo oil cooler, oil drain. I'm sorry. Band clamps. A boot adapter. I think if there's a bracket in here somewhere. So far, I'm really impressed with their quality. I'll say that one is just a big old piece of 3/8 bar. What is this? This is probably the plate. Down in the valley. Gosh, 3/8. Wow, 3/8. Cut out a 3/8 plate. That is, tell you what, that is substantial. I thought it would be 1/4 inch. That's impressive. You don't want this going anywhere, that's for sure. What do we got here? This is probably the turbo drain. Yep. 2 bolts in. Down that way, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I never did unboxing, so I guess that's it for the unboxing. All right, let's play. I mean, let's get this installed. I was just looking at some of these pieces. Look at how nicely that is put together. That's the intake. It is very smooth flow. Yeah, nice. Very good quality. I'm going to go ahead and powder coat this one and a piece of bolts to it. Keep it from rusting all up like crazy. I think regular powder coat will work on this. Cool. Alright guys, this is the parts that come for a T4 install kit. This is from Irate Diesel, like we said. There's all the mounting bolts. These are the up pipe bolts, the turbo mount bolts, oil feed, oil drain, mount, and mount. It's all pretty straightforward. There aren't any instructions. I really don't need that many instructions. I mean, it's kind of like an erector set. You just kind of put the pieces together and it comes together. So, we're going to get started. I did some powder coating yesterday. Powder coated these 3 pieces to keep them from rusting so bad. I think they'll be okay. I don't think they'll get too much turbo heat. And if they do, if it cooks the, regular powder coating is good for 250 degrees. If it gets that hot and the stuff peels, we'll Cerakote it. Not a big deal. Might be a big deal getting it back out to Cerakote it, but, it is what it is. Rather do that than have it get all rusty, nasty looking. Let's see. That's about it. I'm going to swing the camera around, and we're going to start putting this deal together. Alright. Doesn't seem there's a very good angle to get the camera in here to film this. So, hopefully this is good. Let's proceed. First of all, I had to take this O-ring off of the drain fitting to powder coat it. So we'll put that back on. Just roll it on. And we'll give it a little coating of our transmission goo. And we'll slide her in. Alright, let's put her in. I've had this card in there, in case you were wondering what that card was covering. It's covering the hole. That's the, there is actually a freeze plug in there. We installed the freeze plug. And then when we went to the T4, let me point this way. The T4 design, that had to come because that's where the oil drain goes. So let's get this O-ring in here. There we go. Alright, get some bolts in there. I assume it's 2 of these. Since there are no instructions, we'll find out. Yep. Alright. Put it in hand tight and then torque everything, because I have to look up the torque because there's no, like I said, there's no instructions at all. This is the original turbo oil feed and drain. Let's uncover that. The kit did come with new O-rings. We'll install those. Interesting way they did this. If you look at this plate, it's going to sit in just like that. There's a tap for the oil feed that's going to come up over the turbo, and it's just a piece of flat steel, so it's going to just get compressed down and it'll seal just fine with this heavy plate. Oops, let's get that one uncovered. There we go. I don't think this is too big a deal to install this. Yeah, There's some crush out there. That's good. Okay. We got 4, I think, in this one. Yeah. 1 here. Maybe. There it goes. 1 there. 1 there. All right. We got a spinner. You can feel that O-ring squishing out. Yeah, it's just flat. Okay. Next is the turbo mount. Actually, let's do the oil feed first. It's a little easier to get it in there now. It's going to go in here. Let me get some sealer. As always with our diesel work, we'll use, what is it, gasolia? Yeah, whatever. Stuff seals really good though. And it's diesel proof, so. Gotta mix it up when you use it. And put a little bit on here. There we go. Put that screw down there. I'm not sure what oil pressure that is. Whether it's just, it's probably just valley pressure, so it's pretty high pressure, so. I don't know what size that is. It sure isn't 13. Let me get a socket for that. Hang on. 15? Nope. 18? Oh, too big. Of course, we're going to edit this part out, so no big deal. Alright, that's a 16. Get a wrench on it. This is a pipe thread, so take it easy on it. You don't want to snap it off. Alright. Now I guess we can, goes on like this. We'll just put it on for giggles right now. Now we can put this guy in. Like I said, I don't think this is going to take very long here. Yeah, like I said, we'll consult the torque that those bolts need. General torque. That's where it goes into the turbo. We got that part in. It's all just finger tight now because you have to align everything, so a little bit of wiggle room is always good. All right. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's not that huge of a deal. All right, we need to mount this part here that we're going to actually coat. Wait till you see the color for the tubing that I picked. Rather interesting. Alright, those are just snugged up, they aren't tight. Alright, and we got the studs that go in here. I think when we put the engine in, that's all we're going to put in right there, is this assembled part. Once we get the engine in, we'll slide the turbo on and hook up the oil feeds and stuff. Wow, those... Huh. Let me reposition the camera here. This is interesting. These are the up pipes. We just put this part in. The up pipes are already aligned. That's a quality kit. There's really no adjustment needed. We spin the collar around and put the bolts in. I mean, golly. Talk about a well built, well engineered kit. I can see why this one's so popular. Alright, let's reposition and put one of these in anyway. Once again, I hadn't touched it yet to put the bolts in. That's just how, when we bolted this up here, it just aligned itself. I'd say that's pretty excellent. So we have one here. Let's go the other way. Alright. The only reason we're installing this is to have it in so that we can lay out our fuel lines, because the fuel system is completely, I guess you would say, hand built. We're going to use a regulated return, so we need this installed so that we can lay out where the fuel lines go. So let me reposition the camera and we'll stick the other one in. Alright, this will be kind of challenging to do in the vehicle. Yeah, let's flip them around. This one's okay. The bottom one, you don't have room to get the bolt in because it would be against the transmission. It's not there right now, so we'll do it this way. There we go. That one's got a gap, but I'm sure it'll pull it down when we start tightening them. Not much of a gap, just a little one. And like I said, that's one reason we got everything just hand tight. We might need to loosen these up just a bit and scoot it just a little bit that way. Take some of the pressure off, because there's a little bit of give in these bolts here. Get them loosened. Yeah, that's better. Yep, okay. Just that little bit of both. And this one's still good too. Alright. So, reposition the camera again. Now the housing. Okay. This is the exhaust side. I think we're going to have to take our hook off to get this in. Yep. This is the exhaust side of the turbo, so it's going to slide on like that. Yeah, we're going to have to put that in separate. Whoops. Excuse me. I'm just going to put one of these on here to hold it. Yeah. Alright. And then this will connect up this way. And then our downpipe will go down. I hope you can see all that. There. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but it looks doable. Of course, this is back in the back of the engine compartment, so of course it's going to be difficult. Yeah, this will come up here like this to the oil. Then the drain will go back that way. Okay, yeah. Good. Very good. Now I need to get some fuel on. And we'll lay out our fuel. Our feed. The engine sits kind of at an angle, like it is now, in the engine compartment, with the front just a little higher than the back. So we're going to feed the cylinder heads from the back and return from the front. The front's not going to be a real big deal because we got lots of room up there, but this, getting around this turbo and the downpipe on this side and the actual turbo housing over here, it could present some issues. So that's why we have to temporarily put this together, like I said, hand tight, to get some measurements and make sure we get some fittings that fit. So, interesting. Like I said, this is a test fit. Okay, for the fuel system, we've got this part. I think this is where the old mechanical pumps were installed. Either this one or this one, I don't remember. Well, I've got some 1/4 inch plate and some 3/16 plate. And we'll just make a plate. This is our fuel block. We come in with, we're going to pipe that down. That's huge. And then it splits it out. It wides it out, one for each side. Feed will come up over the head and swoop down in there to this. But first we have to mount it so we can get some accurate dimensions for bending the tubing. So first thing we got to do is build this plate. I was kind of concerned about what all the turbo install was going to use up as far as bosses in here go, and they left us this one, so that's fine. Yeah, that'll be just fine. Be some interesting bends on the tubing, but I've done this before, so it's not a big deal. Well, bent tubing anyway. And then we'll have to go over to here on this side, underneath the turbo, and then we'll have to go over to, where is it? Right there. My finger's in the hole. Shouldn't be too bad. We'll bend it so it's out of the way, not picking up too much heat. We sure don't need to put the heat into the engine that way. As a matter of fact, let me check something here. We put the turbo in now, and the hook goes right here. That's interesting. So it's a good thing we're putting the turbo in after the engine's in, because the hook's going to have to come out of there. That's okay, I guess. I didn't really want to take the hook out, but if we have to, we have to, I guess. Maybe I can cut it and re-weld it and put it, I don't know. We'll see. We'll do something with it. So I'd like to leave the hooks in case of an emergency. When, of course, if you need an emergency, you're going to take the turbo out before you move the engine anyway. So maybe we'll just throw the hook in our parts bin in the truck with its bolts. So in case we ever have to pull it on the road, we'll know. That's interesting. That turbo sits up that high. Oh well, it is what it is. I believe it's in right, because according to my pictures, yeah, it's in right. Wow. Okay. These directions I downloaded from Irate Diesel's website. I mean, they're okay. They get you in the general direction of what to do and all, so, the rest is left up to you, I guess. I guess they figure if you're good enough to be putting this in, you don't have problems with figuring out how things go together. So, that's cool. We have to get the turbo out of the box and mount it, and I want to put the drain in just, you know, finger tight, and all the fittings in, so we have a good idea of where to put fuel lines, where to route them. Stand by. I'm going to get the turbo out. All right, this is the actual turbo core. Like I said, this stuff has been in storage for a while. Still using the same dull blade, so be patient. Fine for cutting tape. Not so sure how well it does it cutting the actual cardboard, but all right. Oh boy, more destruction. Check this. Limit drain port tilted 20 degrees from bottom. Okay. Oh, they're in like 8 different languages. Okay. Oh, okay. You have to prime the oil system on. Okay, that's no big deal. The slides. Let's see if we can get this out. Of course, the spray foam is stuck to it. Alright, there we are. Alright. Let's get her on the bench. Alright guys, I covered this one with tape, and we're getting ready to slide the core along with the compressor housing in. And the way it's secured is it goes in, it fits inside this lip, and then these are bolt in almost like a, well, it is like a clamp, and it allows you to rotate the housing, and then, well, it allows you to rotate the turbo core, I'm sorry, and then the housing also has a set of those clamps on them, and you can rotate it. So it's very adjustable, so you can get it in the right spot. So let's slide our core in. The drain goes, the oil feed goes up. I taped all these holes up so they won't get any dirt in them. Very gently center it, slide it in. You should have no resistance. Rotate it a little bit so we can get this clamp in. There we go. Try to move my hands out of the way so you can see what's going on here. Alright, we're just going to put one in because this is only a temporary mount. And of course it'll rotate around so that the drain is, or the feed, I keep saying drain, so the feed is 90 degrees and the drain is as close to 90 as we can get it. Now, you're probably figuring how the heck's he going to hook it up with it pointed straight up. Let me adjust the camera and I'll show you. This is like Turbo 101 for those that haven't worked with one. It's got the same set of clamps that hold it. You'll loosen all these and just rotate it. And it's that simple. Rotate it where it'll hook up. This will be the hot side of the CAC, the charge air cooler. Hot side will come in here, cold side's here. No, that's intake, I'm sorry. And then you have the exhaust. I'm thinking to make sure I'm right. I'm sorry, this is the intake, this is the cold air. The hot air comes back through the intake manifold. I don't know what I was thinking. But as you can see, we're going to hook this stuff up temporarily. And this gives us a great idea of where to run our fuel lines. Because fuel line design is going to be our next part. We'll try to keep it away, keep the fuel lines away from the turbo heat. But this is great. the back of the engine. Here's a feed for this head. Let me lower that camera so you can see it. This right here is the feed for the this cylinder head. The other one, I don't know if you can see it or not, is right here. I don't know if that shows up in the camera. Yeah, it does. Okay. It is right here. So, our fuel block's going to go way up there, as we described earlier, and then we're going to pipe it back here with 3/8 steel line. I like to use stainless steel, but I really can't find any 3/8 stainless steel line. It's kind of interesting. So we'll make it out of 3/8 steel fuel line, and you can pick that up at O'Reilly's or AutoZone or wherever you've got access to. Napa always has it. And then we'll pick up a piece of 1/4 inch for the other end to bend the returns. And we got to make a couple brackets for the fuel block to mount. But basically, this is it for the turbo install. If you weren't coating these pipes, you could go ahead and tighten these. Tighten the up pipes first. Leave this loose so we can move it around, and tighten it last. And you're installed, basically. Put your adapter on, run your downpipe, tie it into your exhaust. Rotate this one so it can get to the cold side cack, excuse me. And then the hot side will come back to the manifolds. It's not all that difficult. It would be a pain in the butt doing it on vehicle, because these downpipes are just almost impossible to get to, because remember, there's a transmission bell housing coming straight out. And this is basically, this one is almost, if you look straight down this line, you can see it's almost on the core. This one's really close to it. They're going to be, when we put the transmission in, it's going to be pushing against these and getting these upper bolts in. This one here and this one here is going to be a lot of fun. But we have a plan for that, so I'll reveal that as we go along. But all right, this is a good place to stop, because I got to make some parts now, and I'm still waiting on Cerakote. This order I placed almost a week and a half ago. I don't know where it's at. UPS is playing games, I guess. And this one I ordered 3 days ago, and it shipped yesterday, and it's coming from Oregon. So, and I'm in Memphis, Tennessee area, so it's going to take a minute to get here. The good thing is, this one is oven cured Cerakote. This one is air cured, so we don't have to take anything apart. We can just, I'm going to cover the ID tag here and mask it off and put a coat on it and let it dry. And they're both good for 1800 degrees. This one is good for it the minute it comes out of the oven. This one will take 5 days to cure. You know, it is what it is. It's going to sit here that long anyway. If you were in a hurry, you'd be in a jam, because this one does not oven cure. It air cures. I guess they say you can handle it after 24 hours, but who knows what that means. Handle it as in pick it up and move it, or handle it as install it. Two different things. We'll just let it go. It's 5 days, and that's why it's, you know, going to be taped off and everything. We'll cover the turbine, the exhaust size turbine, when the core comes out, and cover it good so it's not going to get full of dust or anything. And there's a few tricks for painting pipes. We got to paint those. We'll get to it. Hey, thanks for stopping by, guys. Appreciate it as always.